everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be focusing on how to shape nails. So of course I'm going to do the most popular shapes, which most likely it'll be coffin, square, ballerina, stiletto, and almond, or whatever, but I'm gonna do it on myself so I can be as detailed as I can. So of course, the first thing that I always do whenever I am shaping nails is first use a pair of nail clippers, which I use this one, or I usually don't use scissors, but I know there's people out there that use scissors to cut the side of the nails. But you guys know that whenever I'm doing, like, I guess I'm going to do the coffin one first. But whenever I'm doing coffin, I just use my straight edge nail clipper. Make sure that it is a straight edge. You don't want the regular, like, curved one, because you are going to mess up your shape. So I'm going to go in with this one, and I'm just going to trim the sides of the nails. And I'm going to show you, I didn't have a marker, but I'm going to show you with this what I'm going to cut off. And it's going to literally just be like the corners of the nails, and that way is going to save you a little bit time when filing. So I'm going to do as best as I can, but we're literally just cutting like that off. Basically just, like already cutting them into, let me see, I need to get some stability. Like already cutting them into a coffin shape, so whenever we actually start filing, we won't have that much filing to do. Kind of like that. And then of course, some people like their coffin a little bit more narrow, others like it a little bit wider, so it just depends on what your client likes. But that's what I'm going to be cutting off for my coffin nail. And I probably did a little bit too much on the other side, but I just wanted to show you guys exactly what I'm going to be cutting off. So since we want the tip a little bit more narrow, as you can see, we're cutting more once we get closer to the tip. So we just go in there. So we just go in there with the straight edge nail clipper, and I just start at the tip. Again, I'm just going to cut off the black part and then go down, and here is what I cut off right there. So that's going to be, a piece of nail that I'm not going to have to cut off with or file off with my hand file. So it kind of saves you a little bit of time, and I'm not, let's see. See, here's the other side. And again, I could have used a marker, but I couldn't find one. But yeah, so I still have a little bit of polish on here, but I didn't want to make it like super narrow. I kind of just over drew. But then after that, we're going to go in with the hand file, and you always want to start right here on your side wall. So I always make sure that I place my hand file right there and filing towards the free edge. And sometimes you might have a little gap in between, like right there in the middle, and you basically want this and the tip to match up. But in this case, we just have it, like straight forward, I guess I could say. But make sure that when you're doing this, you're holding your file at exactly a 90-degree angle. You don't want your file in there like this, because as you can see, you're going to be filing the tip and not, the rest of the nail. You don't want to hold it like this, because then you'll be filing the middle of the nail. So go exactly from your side wall to the free edge. And then also making sure that we alternate from side to side. We don't want to just file too much on one side and not the other, because then our nail is going to be crooked. So same thing from the side wall to the free edge. Going back and forth. Going back to the other side. And when you're doing this, just watch your nail tip as you file. That way, like you'll be able to see if it's leaning a little bit to the side or anything. And then after that, you just go in and file the free edge. Now, when I'm filing other people's nails, it's easier for me to go in there like this, or like vertically. But whenever I'm filing my own nails, it's easier if I just do it just like this. But whatever works for you is completely fine. And then that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and just wipe off that black mark on here so you guys can see. Alrighty, so I took that black polish off, but as you can see, that is my coffin now. And then again, if you want it a little bit more narrow, that's completely fine. But do make sure that you go, as you can see, right from, let me see. All right, from the sidewall towards the free edge, you want it to be super straight. Same thing for the other side, and then same thing for your free edge. And then sometimes when I'm doing my nails, I know you guys have seen me where I put my finger at the edge of the table and just file like this to get it like super straight, but it's completely up to you how you want to do it. But that's just how I do mine. And then of course you would go in and just blend the nail tip right in the middle, which right now, you know, I'm not really going to focus on that, but that's usually what I would do. So that was the coffin nail. So now for the ballerina one, you basically want to do the same thing, except for ballerina nails are a little bit more narrow at the tip. So we would go in and cut just like we did the first time, except for this time we're going to cut a little bit more. Let's see. All right, so I cut that off, and same thing, going in there at a 90-degree angle with your nail, with your sidewall, going back and forth. Same thing on the other side. Again, it's really important that you alternate from side to side, because if not, your nail is going to be crooked. And then when I'm doing this, I'm focusing more on filing, you know, like towards the tip, because, or like putting more pressure towards the tip. That's what I meant, because of course we want the tip to be more narrow. Okay, so just like that, and then now I'm gonna go in and just file the free edge at exactly a 90-degree angle. And make sure that when you're doing this, again, you're watching the way that you're holding your file. I've seen people filing like this, and when you do this, you're gonna round off your corners. And then when you do this, you're only gonna be filing like, you know, the center, and then your sides are gonna be off. So exactly a 90-degree angle. I don't know if you guys can see, but just like that, just going back and forth. Same thing on the sides, 90-degree angle, back and forth. Same thing on the other side, back and forth. Trust me when I tell you that the way you hold your file, I know I say this a lot, but y'all, it's all about the angle of your file. But as you can see, it's a lot more narrow than this one. So again, this one would be my coffin. This one is my ballerina, and I say mine because everyone has their own meaning or idea of what it's supposed to look like. But when someone asks me to do coffin, I'll do it like this. When somebody asks me to do ballerina, they'll be a little bit more narrow like this one. So now next I'm gonna do, let's see, I guess I'm gonna do the stiletto one on this one. So same thing, I'm gonna go in with my nail clipper, except for this time we're gonna cut even more. So I'm gonna go in and cut like the whole side of the nail. Same thing on the other side. So again, we're already cutting it into that like stiletto shape. That way we just have to go in and redefine that shape, just like that. So same thing, going in. As you can see there, that's what I mean when I say that you're supposed to like even it out to where this part right here is even with the tip. You just want to make sure that you keep filing until it, you know, matches up. Just like that. As you can see, now it's all even. Same thing on the other side. As you can see right now, it's not even, so we want to match it up. So same thing, just alternating between side to side. And now we're just focusing on the tip because we want to make the tip more narrow. So we're putting that pressure on the tip. And also make sure that whenever you're filing clients' nails, you want to make sure that with your finger, like the way, I can't really show you, but make sure that you're holding your client's side of the finger like this, kind of holding it back, because if not, it will be really easy for you to cut them with your hand file if you're not paying attention. And it really does hurt when you do that, because I kind of just felt it on my side right here, as you can see, I kind of cut myself just a little bit, and that happens when you're filing the side of the nail and you put too much pressure on there, you will cut yourself. So make sure that you're careful. And usually, again, I hold this piece back and kind of get the file right in between, you know, the side of the nail, and that way you don't cut someone. But it's hard to, of course I can't do it that way whenever I'm doing it on myself. Okay, just like that. And then now I'm just gonna kind of round off the tip. As you can see, it's still really pointy, but we just kind of want to round it off just a little bit. And that's pretty much it. Let's see, this one still needs a little bit more filing on the side. I'm just trying not to, because I already cut myself, so I have to be really careful not to hurt it. Okay, that looks good. So again, coffin, ballerina, stiletto. I'm gonna do, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do my pinky kind of like an almond shape. So same thing, we're gonna cut the sides off, except for this time I'm just not gonna cut as much. Just like that. And then same thing, going in from the side wall towards the free edge. Same, and as you guys see, it's like the same 90-degree angle. But we're just putting that pressure towards the tip, since again, they have to be a little bit more narrow. Okay, so once we have, you know, the sides kind of at the width that we want, then we just round the tip off. So as you can see, it's not going to be nearly as pointed as the ring finger, which was the stiletto one. It's going to be a lot rounder, just like that. And that one, again, would be kind of like my almond shape. So like stiletto, but not as pointy. And then for my thumb, we're just gonna do this one square. And when I do my square, again, 90-degree angle, except for instead of putting more pressure towards the tip, we just file right, you know, at a 90-degree angle. And of course, we're not having to do that much filing because this tip was already square. So we just evened out the sides and then going in at exactly a 90-degree angle. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but the tip was definitely not squared. It was a little bit rounded. So we just want to even out the middle of the nail with the sides, because again, right now it is rounded. So we're just going to go back and forth at exactly a 90-degree angle. And also make sure that when you're doing this, again, watch how you're holding your file, and also make sure that you're not putting too much pressure, you know, on one side, because then your nail is going to start leaning over to the side. So going back and forth. Alrighty, and just like that. So as you can see, it didn't take nearly as much work as the other ones. So just making sure that this, you know, like that your nail tip or your free edge is not wider than your natural nail, because then it kind of looks weird. So that's why you always have to file from the sidewall towards the free edge, so it matches up, because you don't, you know, you also don't want this part right here to be too small and then the tip to be too wide, or this part right here to be too wide and then your tip be like, you know, I don't know if that makes sense, but basically you want to make sure that your tip matches with your natural nail bed, so it don't look off. So I think that's pretty much it. So again, we did the square, the coffin, the ballerina, the stiletto, and the almond shaped nail. I'm gonna go ahead and dust them off so you guys can, I mean, you guys can see it, but just to clean my hand off. So they definitely look really good, other than me cutting myself. But those are your 5 most popular shapes. Hopefully this video was helpful, y'all. I try to be as detailed as I can, but again, it's all about the way that you hold your file, doing it at that 90-degree angle. And then, you know, just cutting the side of the nail just helps a lot as well. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.